Hello, this is Cathy Cassidy, and I'm here to read you another chapter of SUNDAE Girl. And yesterday I showed you a different cover for the book, the photograph cover, and today I wanted to show you the latest of the cover designs for SUNDAE Girl. I really like this one with its beautiful little illustrations of an ice cream sundae, an Afghan hound, a pair of rollerblades and some Elvis sunglasses. I don't know. I wonder which cover you like the best. Would it be that one? Would it be that one? Or maybe it's the old yellow cover, the original cover. You'll have to comment and let me know. Tell me what you think. Today our chapter is chapter 17 and a picture of a big ice cream cornet with a flake in it on the top of that chapter. So let's find out what's going on in Jude's world. All the way home, I tell myself that Mum will be there, safe and well, cuddled up on the settee with Toto, drinking coffee and watching The Wizard of Oz. When I turn into the street, I see Grandad at the gate, scanning the street anxiously. There you are, he says as I approach, taking my school bag and holding a palm against my forehead to check for fever. What's wrong, Jude? The school nurse said you were ill. Not really, I admit. She thinks I'm sickening for something, but actually I'm just fed up and worried about Mum. She's still not home, is she? No, Grandad admits. I've called the hospital and she's not there. Sue hasn't seen her and there was nobody home at Giovanni's. I suppose he'll be working. Doesn't he wash dishes at that Italian restaurant in the winter? She won't be with him anyway, I say. She doesn't have time for Sue or Giovanni when she's drinking. They worry too much and tell her things she doesn't want to hear. Well, Grandad says, chewing his lips, she's got to be somewhere. Gran looks up from her armchair, smiling over her knitting. Do you know, I love an ice cream cornet, she says, with a chocolate flake and raspberry sauce. Molly, love, it's February, Grandad says. I know, Gran says, scorching hot weather too. Should I have nuts as well as raspberry sauce? I suppose I could get some ice cream from the corner shop, I'm saying, but just then an ice cream van jingle fills the air. I give Gran a puzzled look, but she just grins back, smug. Giovanni, Grandad exclaims, that lad does not give up. We crowd together at the window. Mum, I squeal. She's okay. Giovanni's brought her home. Giovanni and Mum walk down the garden path. Mum looks chirpy, happy, but Giovanni is serious. Grandad whips the door open before he can ring the bell. Rose, love, he beams. We've been so worried. It was all a misunderstanding, Mum says. Ridiculous. Giovanni shakes his head. I've never seen him look angry before, but he does today. What happened? I want to know. Where were you? Mum just shrugs off her pink leather jacket, flinging it down on the chair. Come on, Giovanni says coldly. Tell her, Rosa. Tell your daughter where you spent the night. It was a load of rubbish, Mum bursts out. I tried to tell them, but they wouldn't listen. Idiots. Who? Grandad asks, but Mum just flops down onto the settee, picks up the remote control and clicks the TV on. Giovanni leans down, unsmiling, and takes the remote control away, switching the TV off. Mum unleashes a torrent of abuse, finally taking off a red stiletto to hurl at Giovanni. It misses and lands rakishly in Gran's knitting bag. Oh dear, she says mildly. She called me an hour ago because she didn't want you to know, Giovanni says calmly. She asked me to pick her up from the police station. She spent the night in the cells. Mum launches herself at Giovanni, swearing, screaming, punching, scratching. Giovanni just peels her off like she's a toddler with a tantrum. She sinks back onto the settee, crying. It was a mistake, all right, she says between sobs. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was just tired, that's all, and I sat down for a little rest. Students found her in the city centre, Giovanni tells us, collapsed in the gutter. They thought she was ill and called 999, but of course she was only drunk. When the police tried to talk to her to find out where she lived, she screamed and swore at them. They took her in for a night in the cells. She was lucky not to be charged with drunk and disorderly. I am frozen with shame and horror. A dark flush creeps over my cheeks and I can't think of a single thing to say. "Oh, Rose, no," Grandad whispers. "I didn't mean it," she protests. "Okay, I'd had a bit too much to drink, but that's not a crime, is it? Is it? I was just tired." I have sick visions of classmates, teachers, neighbours, all wandering past, frowning and asking themselves if the drunk in the gutter didn't look just like Jude Riley's mum. I know I should feel concerned, anxious, upset, but all I can feel is embarrassed and angry. "Anything could have happened, Rose," Grandad says sadly. "Thank God those students found you. You could have frozen to death." "As if you'd care," Mum snaps. "A night in the cells is no picnic either, let me tell you. There were all kinds of nasty types in there. Imagine locking up a poor, defenceless woman." She wraps her arms around herself like a little girl snuggling up in the cold, shutting out the world. "I didn't mean it," she says. "Of course not, love," Grandad soothes. He fusses around her, picking up a blue fleece blanket to tuck round her shoulders like Gran used to do for me when I was little and feeling sad. "Don't worry, Rose pet. You're home safe now, and safe and sound. It's all over." I wish I could believe that. Mum says she's tired and upset and needs to lie down. She slopes away up the stairs while Grandad shakes Giovanni's hand and tells him he's a grand fellow. "You've always been there for Rose," he says. "We appreciate that. Stay for a nice cup of tea now. We've got wafer biscuits, a new packet." He bustles out to the kitchen and Giovanni turns to me. "I can't do it," he says the minute Grandad is out of earshot. "I can't stand by and watch her do this, you know." "We don't have much of a choice, do we?" I say. And then I realise that Giovanni actually does. We're family, but he's not. Why should he hang around to be treated like dirt? "I can't go on pretending it doesn't matter," Giovanni says. "It does. Today, when I collected her from the station, it was horrible, Jude. I was ashamed." "I know, because I'm ashamed too. And then in the van, she told me she didn't want to go back home, didn't want to face you. Never mind that you'd all be out of your minds with worry." We're driving along, me going on about detox clinics and Alcoholics Anonymous, and Rosa just smiles sweetly and asks me to take her to a bar. A bar, Jude. After all that, can you believe it? A tear leaks out from the corner of my eye and slides down my cheek, and my stomach feels cold, sour, empty. "I can't do this," Giovanni declares, "unless she can admit she has a problem, unless she can ask for help to get herself well again. And she cannot. She will not. It is over for me, Jude. Over." "Not really," I say uncertainly. "I mean, you'll be around, won't you? When she gets better. It's not really the end of anything, is it?" But Giovanni just looks at me, all sad brown eyes and slanting brows, and my heart sinks. "I can't do it, Jude," he says. "I can't just watch her drink herself to death." Grandad and I don't have that choice, of course. "I am sorry," Giovanni says. I'm sorry too. Giovanni has been a part of our lives for almost 3 years now. He's sweet and funny and kind, but Mum has always treated him badly, even when she's not drinking. When she's sober, she lets him take her on dates and days out, buy her flowers and chocolate. He's not Mr. Perfect, she says, but he'll do for now. "He loves me, Jude," she said to me once. "That has to count for something, doesn't it?" Apparently not. Giovanni tells me to explain to Grandad that he is heartbroken, that the tea would only choke him. He slips out of the front door, walks down the path, shoulders drooping. Over, Gran echoes sadly, still cradling Mum's scuffed red stiletto. I remember the ice cream cornet then and run down the path after Giovanni to ask him. For Molly, anything, he says, smiling sadly. He hands me a huge cornet complete with chocolate flake, raspberry sauce and nut sprinkles and tells me to look after myself. I stand on the path and watch as the ice cream van pulls away from the curb, chugs along the road and disappears round the corner. Tears sting my eyes, but I sniff them back and walk inside, holding the ice cream cornet. There you are, Gran, I whisper, forcing a smile. For you. She looks at me as though I'm crazy. Ice cream, she says. Oh no, Jude, not for me. I couldn't. Brr. Don't you know it's only February? So that was chapter 17 from SUNDAE Girl. And yeah, that's a really sad chapter. However, today, or at least if you're watching this on the day that it goes live on YouTube, it is February the 16th, which is Pancake Day. So I hope you will celebrate or have celebrated Pancake Day, because I think we need to celebrate whatever we can right now in the middle of this lockdown. So, and if by any chance you forgot that it was, then you can have a special pop-up Pancake Day tomorrow instead. But I'll see you back in the morning for another chapter of SUNDAE Girl. And until then, stay safe, keep smiling, and I will see you soon.